I think tonight he drew a hard line in the sand, saying that he supported the public option and that
it's not
he made a good case for it.
But he's willing to look at other ways.
And that's what annoyed me. I'm a little further to the left than most liberals, and so I was a little dissatisfied with that last little caveat, which is I'm open to other options, which is sort of a door to get rid of the public option.
It's no way this public option is going to happen.
Well, it depends.
Not gonna happen.
It depends on what tactic he draws. If he decides to ramrod this through Congress, if they decide to go through reconciliation or do some other measure where they don't really need Republican votes, then all of a sudden it makes sense. And if you look at the way he sort of threw cheap shots at Sarah Palin, the way, subliminally, the way he threw sort of shots at the Iraq War, which seemed a bit unnecessary, at least for this speech, if he's trying to bring people together, it might be that he's planning to do this alone.
We don't go that far. That's an extravagant overstatement. But there are certain patterns that we could say are similar to President Bush. In Afghanistan, President Obama is certainly mirroring Bush.
Conyers is critical of him.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some issues, but on domestic policy, to compare President Obama to President Bush, to me, borders on absurd. I voted for the president, and I support the president. He's my president. He's our president. However, when I see a public option go under the bus, I have to speak to that. When I see education funds leaving us, I have to speak to that. All of us have a responsibility.
Absolutely.
President.
That's
the issue for me.
My heart is bleeding for her. I mean, she's so sorry for the pain and embarrassment that she caused Tiger's wife that she goes on international television to add her name to the list of Hooters waitresses that he's been chasing around. If it was about the wife, she could have sent a private note. She could have done it off the record.
Yes.
But instead, she's going to have a big check, and something tells me it's not going to the Woods Foundation.
Well, and that's just the point. Obama has already backed himself into a corner because he has agreed to the premise of the xenophobic right. When Joe Wilson yells, "You lie," instead of sticking up for what's right, Obama makes a decision to say, look, I'm not going to cover.
Well, maybe he believes that it's not correct to cover people who shouldn't be here.
Well,
maybe he actually believes
that.
You
know what? That's great, but since you all have spent so much time saying that he's this radical socialist, it's hard to imagine that now you think that he has a centrist or right-wing position. Thank you for conceding that. First of all, there's precedent in Massachusetts. There's precedent in Massachusetts to say that even berating a police officer while being arrested does not constitute disorderly conduct. It's very specific.
A legal precedent. There is.
Exactly. So it's very specific. So they had no legal right.
It's protected by the First Amendment.
Precisely. So he shouldn't have been arrested.
Well, let's remember the
charges
have been dropped. I think the bigger issue is why would the President of the United States wade into something?
Because this is a huge issue that deals with race relations. Even if we think that Ann is right, for example, and say that this is a poor example of racial profiling, that's something a president needs to intervene on because the entire nation is talking about it.
Intervening is one thing, but calling a police officer stupid?
He said the arrest was stupid.
And legally it was.
But no one is saying that the media should not have drawn attention to Michael Jackson.
So what's the racial component?
The component is now he has passed away.
Yeah.
About a year or two ago, when Jerry Falwell died, you and I debated this very point. You said, give the man 3 days to a week and let the people mourn him before you start talking about his racist politics. You said that yourself. So why are we giving Jerry Falwell something that we won't even give Michael Jackson?
There's no racial component in here.
Just because it's not racist doesn't mean that it's not racial.
There isn't any.
No, there is a racial component. The fact that he brings blacks and whites together is a racial component. The fact that a black man would disfigure his face in such a way to resemble white folk makes it a racial component.
Okay, then why is he being held up by the African American community as a pillar of black America when he blanches his skin?
Because we are a loyal people, we are a protective people, and we understand that the architecture of white supremacy
I don't even mind that.
That's how white supremacy works. A whole lot of black people want to look white.
Look, Jackson's American. He wants to bleach his skin. Fine. I don't care.
Right.
All right. But answer me this. If he is such a black American icon, why did he have his kids with white men?
That's a personal matter. That doesn't make him less black. There's no blackness meter here. You don't become less black when you have a white kid.
Lonely white woman.
Bringing race into this, Professor Hill. Bringing race.
You know I hate to bring race into anything. I hate to bring race up. What is it with you people and monkeys, man? You guys befriend monkeys, you hang out with them, and now you sleep with them. And here's the crazy.
It's actually a fair point. Every movie with monkeys, usually it's just white people with the monkeys.
That's why black people are laughing at this. And then the crazy thing is, after spending 10 years dating a monkey, after she rips the person's face off, they're doing an autopsy to find out what was wrong with the monkey. What are you talking about? They should be checking the woman out.
But Dr. Hill, I got to ask you, millions of couples, as well as many lonely people, go to bed every night with a dog or a cat in their bed. How is this different? It's just another pet.
Yes, but the dog doesn't wear an ascot and a smoking jacket. This person was marrying the dog. There's a difference.